All right, all right, all right. We're about 3 minutes away from our last game of the evening. We'll be featuring the Coyote Country Wheat Whackers in white up against the Fort Collins Agoges in blue. Sorry, I was stumbling over their names for a minute here. It's been a long day. So, folks, here we go for the evening. We are 2 minutes out. I'm just going to introduce to you the referees we have for tonight's final game. Your head referee is Guinness. Princess Albert is in there. Doppelganger, Data, Misconduct, Van Rollon, Demon Mistress. Maybe it's Damon. I'm not sure. Peter, Bionic Envy, Moof, Punky Bruiser, Rumpapolly, Capri Stun, Dr. Boom, Bionic Envy, Buck and Nobby, D-Rex, Kiss Off, and Dino.
All right, minute 40 left to go. Introduce the teams. We have the FoCo Agoges in blue, number 12 Rainbow Rider, number 13 Nightshade Hedgie, number 14 Stormcloud at number 26 L, number 81 Spider, 47 Xavier Bad Behavior, number 58 Firecracker, and 72 Dart.
All right, and they'll be taking on the Wheat Whackers. They'll be in the white 100 Glitter Hitter, 101 Poison Ivy, 13 Phantom, 17 Ultraviolet, 18 Glitz, 2 Night Terror, 204 Sparkhill, number 3 Sugar Rush, number 33 Jawbreaker, number 6 Punky Bruiser, 757 She Be Sassy, 84 Puppet Master, and bringing up the rear and not to be denied is number 88 Bubble Basher. All right, now both these teams come in. They both have a game under them. They're both about the same level here. Denver might be at a little advantage because they are at a little higher altitude than the Wheat Whackers. But we'll see. We'll see if any of that matters.
I'm definitely getting used to saying a lot of these names. I have Glitz in white for the Wheat Whackers, going up against number 58 Firecracker in blue for the Agoges.
And for once, the penalty box is clear. Oh, wait, we're just starting. I guess that would be bad if we already had players in the box.
So it'd be like a Hanson Brothers roller derby or something like that. I don't know.
All right, the rolling whistle signals we're getting ready. Cocked, locked, ready to rock. Hold on.
Oh, and that test stop right away.
Sorry.
Official timeout. Still working on.
Something to do with the scoreboard, I think.
Yeah.
Technical issues. I think Bionic Envy had a wardrobe malfunction. I'm not sure. Okay, Bionic Envy gives a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay, just kidding. Reset. Here we go. All right, and the whistle blows and they take off. It is Glitz up against Firecracker. Both of them going in hard and fast. We'll see how long this energy lasts. Glitz gets out first for the Wheat Whackers.
Firecracker looking to make some way, pushing their way through and find it. At the same time, that is Glitz coming in for their first scoring pass. Pack is getting pretty spread out, so Glitz will get their 4 and call it off. Nice quick start to our game here. Now we have 72 Dart in blue for as the jammer going up against She'll Be Sassy in white. Agoges have to take off that jam line, but coming back at them now is the Wheat Whackers. And some nice footwork on the inside is Sassy. One more blocker to beat and takes lead. Dart still finding nice moves by Dart to get by number 204. That's a Sparkle. Good hop on the apex to get 4 points. And Wheat Whackers will call that one off. A couple 4-0 jams to begin. Wheat Whackers perhaps conserving their energy early. You know, had that really great game earlier today against the Renegades.
That was a pretty back and forth game. The Agoges doing everything they can. Their bench consists of 3 players, so they're rotating what they can. This is game 2. They're going to give it everything they got. And here we go. It's Glitter Hitter up against Rainbow Rider. That's a lot of glitter and rainbow stuff.
Glitter Hitter with a nice hit right on the outside to stay in and get through. Meanwhile, Rainbow Rider has Night Terror to beat, and Night Terror pushes them out and brings them back. Night Terror definitely lives up to their name out there.
Yeah, they certainly were a blocking beast in that first game out there. I feel like we called every time we turned around, it was Night Terror blocking somebody.
Right. There's Rainbow Rider now through. Glitter Hitter coming around for a second scoring pass. Goes right into the wall and pushes their way through. And calls it off before Rainbow Rider can come around. All right, and now it is number 13, Nightshade Hedgie of FoCo Agoges out there going up against Glitz, who's now back out in that jammer position for the Wheat Whackers.
Nightshade on the outside, Glitz on the inside. Glitz pushes through the middle, trying to get stays in. Oh no, I think they're going to get a cut. Yeah, Data saw it. That was a quick move, and they cycled him back, and they didn't think they had to, but they definitely stepped out.
Yeah, it was Rainbow Rider with a hit out and ran back, and yeah, that'll give a good advantage. There is a star pass.
Firecracker.
So now Firecracker will take the star, and I don't think lead ever. Well, let's see. There is no lead assessed right now, so no, this looks like it'll go for the full 2 minutes.
Yep, I don't think there is. But they must have established lead and lost it.
Right. Yep. Oh,
big
hard
collision.
hits like, right into that tripod, just taking it on. May have gotten some points on there, but also just been brought back and has to go through it all over again.
That was almost a yard sale if all that gear wasn't strapped on.
And yeah, a couple whistles, so a blocker from each team is going to the penalty box.
It's 13 and 13.
Heck of chances for that. All right, so now neck and neck are both jammers as they come in for their scoring passes. Both slam in to the outside, and taking in the inside now is Glitz for 4, and fighting hard now is Firecracker to try to get a few more points on the board.
And I don't think we have a lead jammer.
No, just 15 seconds left in the jam. Firecracker brought back as Glitz scores 4 more. Ooh, nice stop there. I believe that was Sparkle with a good stop.
Well, they came in there backwards, and that's perfectly legal. As fast as they were coming in, and they can hit somebody in the butt if they come in with their butt. So She's So Sassy comes out there going head to head with Storm Cloud. Sassy was a heavy jammer load last bout. Stormcloud had a bit here and there sprinkled in. Whistle blows and they go. Sassy to the outside, now to the middle. Stormcloud looks for an opening. There is an opening. Stormcloud exploits the opening, and there we go. Stormcloud is your lead jammer.
Yeah, Stormcloud pushed out, but then got right back in and took an open outside lane. With a nice jump, Apex nails it for 4.
Kept everything on ground. 8 wheels landed.
Yeah, stuck that landing, too. A lot of times you hit the ground once you make that. But
Oh, that was a
jump.
perfect 8 wheels on the ground all at the same time.
All right, number 100, Glitter Hitter in white, going up against 26L.
I like those names like that. L. It's just easy. L. All right, L's on the outside. Glitter Hitter pushing the whole pack up the middle. Now L comes in the middle, and now they're in the inside, pushing. Nope. White cycles back in front of L.
Sparkle some one-on-one blocking. That brings the rest of the Wheat Whackers back. Try to spread out that pack some, but Glitter Hitter being held up, but gotten through for lead. Meanwhile, number 47, W. Xavier going to the penalty box. Glitter now coming in, sizing up the situation, decides to hit it and try to force their way through. We have L at making up to turn number 3, down and right back up. Trying to find an opening on the inside, but Sparkle denies that.
Glitter Hitter, smooth skating style. One of those deceptively fast ones that is moving around the track. All right, they're starting to pack up into turn 3. Everybody comes together.
Wheat Whacker's doing a good job with, they have one blocker that will do solo for a while and then lead that jammer into the tripod. So a really good defensive strategy working well for them.
I think that's always a smart move because that way the jammer cannot be up to full speed when they hit the tripod.
Right.
I think that's the way you avoid a tripod is full speed.
We do have a successful star pass, but the jam ends here. We have a 35-15 score. So we come down to our first at the 21-minute mark. All right, Agoges lining right up at that dram line, trying to stop Glitz. This Nightshade trying to make some moves to get through. Defenders really quickly to stop any sort of momentum going on. It is Glitz that breaks out first. Look like they might be trying to get some points before Colleen uses Night Terror as a shield, gets through, gets 4, and calls it off.
That was a nice move there. Grabbed on the Night Terror and whipped around him. Night Terror opening the hole.
Then we'll have Storm Cloud in blue going up against She'll Be Sassy in white.
I think you have to say sassy. All right, Sassy's on the inside. Stormcloud on the out. Now they switch. Stormcloud goes in and Sassy goes out. Sassy has the line. Sassy takes the line. No. Demon Mistress says, cut track. Come on back.
All right, so this gives a chance here for Stormcloud. I don't believe lead was assessed on there, so I think lead may still be open.
Yeah, I think so, because I have not did not put up the L at all, and
Yep,
there we
and
go.
there it is. So lead goes to Storm Cloud. All right, looking for decide to wait for their offense to come to them. Great pays off for them very well. They get 4 points.
Stormcloud is your lead jammer. Sassy's released and has made contact back with the blue wall. Sassy pushes forward a little bit.
Through for 4 more, though.
Whoa.
Good attempt by Firecracker to slow down Sassy. Didn't quite get there. Oh, but nice offense. Yeah, Firecracker comes back with some nice offense to give an easy 4 to Stormcloud there to end that jam.
And the Agoges have climbed back into this. So here we go. It's glitter hitter number 100 up against number 12, Rainbow Rider for the blue team.
A little bit of a penalty-like game here so far as well. Agoges look to do a 2-on-2 split on the start. Rainbow Rider sees the opening, takes it, and is through for a lead. Glitter hitter fights their way through the pack. Both teams speeding up, trying to get front position. Let's see if first the Rainbow Rider decides to get a point and call that one off.
All right, Glitz coming out for the Wheat Whackers, going up against 58. I believe that's Firecracker. Both teams are whole. They're split, one on the pivot line, one on the jam line. Now the Wheat Whackers back down to the jam line.
All right, so look to see a whole lot of oh, nice. I was expecting a lot of collision, but Blitz just looking for that inside and able to get it.
Yeah, Glitz had a plan when they went through there. They realized that they were set up wrong, and they were able to run through. Oh, and now we have a power jam there as Firecracker skates off.
Agoges want to get front, try to want to make sure that the jammer can't get up to them so quickly, try to burn out that penalty clock a little bit.
And the Wheat Whacker's doing a good job keeping that's Xavier, keeping him back so he can't form up with his team and they can't form a solid wall. Glitz is sliding around, got 12.
All right, Firecracker back out of the box, slams in the tripod and tries to find a way inside, but is stopped. Well, that is 4 more for Glitz.
Oh, and Firecracker thought they had a clean line and take one step out.
All right, and I believe that is, yes, Rainbow Rider going to the box for the Agoges as Glitz is on a good run here. Already got 20 points up on the board on this one. Looks like they might just run out this jam. Get as much points on the board as possible as we're in the final 24 seconds. Firecracker's still fighting to try to get through. Glitz gets that opening, sees it, takes it, slides right on through for 4 more. Box is now cleared. All right, and 28-0 run, so that yeah, the Goge's creeping up there, but then a big run now puts it at a 40-point lead for the Wheat Whackers.
That's what happens when we have a short bench out there. You don't have many to rotate. Everybody starts wearing down, especially at tournament pace. So here we go. Sassy up against Dart. We've seen this movie before. We'll see how this one plays out. Sassy getting the people to separate, spreading out the blue wall. White wall holding together, keeping Dart at bay. Now Dart slips a couple and
Yeah, that is a call. That is
oh,
Firecracker knocked out Sassy, and Sassy kept going instead of re-entering behind Firecracker.
they're
So,
lucky they didn't get a second penalty the way they called those this week. You know,
oh,
because she didn't hear it. So
all right, now it is Dart.
and Dart is allowed to get lead because lead was never firmly established.
Big hit, looking for some offense, trying to get a night terror though. Solid. Takes out, ends that run.
Sassy standing in the box, so they will get a power start.
Yeah, for number 26, that is L. Be their jammer for this power start.
It's even better than a one-word name like Cher or Madonna, just a one-letter L.
Yeah, but you could, like ELLE would also be L. So.
No, just L. Oh, we have a timeout, blue.
All right, quick game. Just looking at the clock, I'm like, wow, already down to 13 minutes left in this half. So,
You know, as soon as you say that, it will start. Carl, way to go. You can't say the Q word.
definitely a really good time for the teams to take a break here. This is the first timeout of the game.
Now, hopefully, while you guys are visiting Utah, you do take yourself to Pie Pizzeria. I do highly recommend it. It is some of the best pizza out there. Consistently, whichever pie you go to, it is a good pizza.
All right, so looks like talked over some strategy. See how the Agoges decide to take advantage of this power start.
Well, they're backed off. They're going to let their jammer take advantage of it. Now the Wheat Whackers drops back into position. They get hit for their efforts as the whistle blows. They all start slamming into things.
That was a jawbreaker closing out that outside lane that was open there for a little bit.
Oh, and just in time, Elle gets through there because she'll be sassy, squirted through there, and she'll be sassy is in their hip pocket. It's a drag race now, and we'll see. Oh,
Yeah, and Sassy's got a lot of speed, so yeah, if they're not careful, they scored some points right off there coming off the bench.
that and now we have a power jam as Elle's heading into the box, so she'll be sassy. We'll have 30 seconds free out there to work and do what they can. They get in, they get out. 72 takes a swipe at them, but they shake it off and keep moving forward. Yeah. She'll be sassy digging hard.
Hey, Gogi's got to get their defense put together here to put up a solid front against that offense, and especially a fast jammer like Sassy. Nice catch there. I think that was number 14, I believe, Stormcloud with a good catch.
Not every hit has to be a big blow-up hit. Sometimes just the misdirection of a body is all you need to get a skater out. They've got momentum going one way, you change it to another way, they're out, you skate them back. So there we go. Everybody's out of the box. The box is clear.
Well, slams into there, slams into Phantom right in that tripod, now being held back as Sassy gets 4 more points.
Now FoCo drops back to offer some blocking assistance. That opens up a lane for Sassy. Sassy, almost.
Another nice hit by Stormcloud, again, with another great catch on the outside.
Sassy almost took advantage of that opening, but then the Agoges were quick to close that.
All right, that jam ends. 20 points put up by the Wheat Whackers, especially when considering that they started that jam as at a power start disadvantage. Really good run there.
All right, looks like Glitter Hitter coming out there for the Wheat Whackers, going head to head with Nightshade. Whistle blows, they slam forward into the packs. Packs are staying pretty static. And now it's Nightshade out first.
Yeah, Goge defenders really good getting their hips below Glitter Hitter to slow them down, and that forces a star pass.
That's Bubble Basher with that star. That's clean. The helmet cover's on. Can't score, can't get lead, can't do anything without that helmet cover in place.
Yeah, so great job of the Goges being able to get that tripod down low and just take away all the momentum there. Hopefully you can recreate that. Really help out their defense here. It's 35 or 87-35 game. So it is well within reach of a comeback.
Firecracker number 58 coming out there for the Agoges. And number 18, that is Glitz for the Wheat Whackers.
Oh, and
Glitz is out fast.
Punky Bruiser taking out Firecracker on the inside. No, it's easy to keep your eye on all the jammers. That's the point scorers, but yeah, definitely want to keep a lookout for those blockers that are just in that right place at the right time to make something happen. Oh. Firecracker, hard hit, but just like it was nothing, back up and racing around.
I think they might have left a little skin on the track.
Yeah.
That sounded like a skid. That's why I would wear longer shorts than some of these shorts.
That freedom of movement.
And my daughter has that argument too. I don't like to see the booty shorts.
All right, Jawbreaker, I believe, first time taking the star. That is up against Storm Cloud. Jawbreaker, nice move on the inside and gets a quick early lead.
Kind of a quiet start there. It didn't seem like it started, but then now everybody was moving forward.
Yeah. That's definitely want to get like set and organized, just so as soon as that whistle hits, you're ready to go and no one can take you off guard or by surprise. Firecracker with the star. That lives up to that name, too, the way they play.
Yeah, sometimes these kids really do live up to whatever name they pick. And then you kind of wonder, did they pick it or did somebody give it to them?
All right, and we have a team timeout for the Agoges. I'll give us a minute here as there is 7:37 left in this half.
Are they using their official review for? Yeah, they're just using their official review for a timeout. It looks like.
All right.
Because I saw Rumpapolly signal the official review, but then I saw Guinness call a timeout, so we'll straighten it out. I don't see two teams out there talking to the referee, so I'm going to assume it's just a team timeout.
Yeah, I mean you get that official review back in the next half, so we can save the team timeout there. The Goges have really done a pretty good job, I think, of regrouping between the games. Even with a shallow bench, that they still only playing with 8 players, they really seem to come together defensively and also helping out their jammers getting some points.
I've seen where you shorten the bench and only play with 10 players because you're just rotating 2 lines, but at least you have 2 lines.
Right.
So here we go, Firecracker up against She's Be Sassy. And then She'll Be Sassy is through first. They come squirting out of the middle. Firecracker stuck in the wash still, trying to get around. One more to beat. Oh, and I think 204 thought they yep.
Track call, yep.
Sure enough, Dop caught it, said it's a cut track, and sends him out. 204 knew it. That was
Sparkhill, the pivot.
Sparkhill, the pivot, knew they had it.
Yeah, the Wheat Whackers have been a really good job providing some offensive help for their jammers. Oh, but the Agoges catch them out. And Jammer goes in, but no, is knocked back out. That was, I believe, 13 with that one.
Yeah, Sassy didn't have a clean line.
Yeah. So yeah, the Agoges really gotten together with their offense.
Oh, right there at the end, we've got another penalty. So it looks like one blocker in the box for the Wheat Whackers, their captain.
That'll be Glitz coming back out. Glitz is definitely capable of putting up some high scoring numbers. We have an official timeout.
Looks like there might be a problem with the track out there somewhere. Or they lost a piece of equipment. Piece of jewelry. Oh, we found something. I hope that was what we were looking for.
Seems to be, yeah.
Okay, that was a lot quicker than it could have been.
Oh, yeah.
Because let me tell you, one little earring post or something like that, you're coming around the track digging hard, you can run into that, and that will flat track you right away where you'll flatten onto the track and smush.
Yeah. All right, and Agoges have chosen to have L take the star on this one. Down to the last 6 minutes.
Going head to head with Glitz. L versus Glitz. A lot of little short, choppy steps trying to move things forward, and now it looks like Glitz might have the opening. Has some separation, nice little bunny hop, and Glitz is through there. L still trying to fight through the pack. Gets recycled by number 2.
Night Terror.
That's Night Terror. You don't realize it, but Night Terror is putting in a lot of work out there.
Oh, yeah. A nice move, though, on the outside as well to get through the pack. Goge's giving Glitz some trouble here, but they do manage to squeak through for 4 and call that one off.
5.5 minutes left in this half. One more half of Derby left tonight.
Jawbreaker seems to be in the rotation now for the Renegades. Taking the star again, going up against Stormcloud.
Now, as I said, folks, if you're traveling, and if you're not the assault team, you are traveling, all our pictures will be available on the website. If you go to Facebook, the Wasatch Junior Roller page, you'll be able to see all these pictures from today and tomorrow, eventually. Stormcloud head to head with Jawbreaker. Jawbreaker out first.
Stormcloud being caught up around turn number 2, looking for a way. No, a hard hit, though. That is the pivot, I believe, Sparkhill, with a solid hit to bring back Stormcloud as Jawbreaker comes around for 4.
Oh, it's a big hitting there. That is Sparkhill putting a beating down on Stormcloud. Sparkhill versus Stormcloud. There's something in that.
Nice leap by Jawbreaker. Hits the ground and calls that one off.
Well, they got their 8 points. That was good enough.
Sometimes you just hit the ground like that. You're just happy you collected your points and just don't want to try to push your luck.
Yeah, there are several different types of falls. I'm sure there's falls that are much easier to get up from than others. So here we go. She'll be Sassy up against Nightshade. Takes off, and Sassy goes to the outside. Nightshade trying to fight through the pack. And the Wheat Whackers do a good job of corralling Agoges and helping them almost block the player.
Yeah.
But Nightshade is now out, but She'll Be Sassy is in the scoring range. She'll Be Sassy comes in and calls it off, but I think she might have made a late call off because it looks like, that was a 4-4 tie.
Yep. Yeah, that's why as a jammer you just keep going. Even if you're not in lead, you can still get those points. Just all the way till you start hearing that the 4 whistle blast. Definitely want to just keep pushing through, get everything you can.
Absolutely. Tell the kids over and over again, you go until the whistle.
I got a 3-on-3 blockers.
It is Glitz up against Dart. Glitz is out first. Dart's still trying to fight through there.
Directional call on the Agoges. Yeah, Jawbreaker had a very solid hit. Thought perhaps maybe it was a directional against them, but no, it was a nice hit to bring Dart down.
Yeah, meanwhile, Glitz has got 4 points. Dart's still trying to fight through for their initial pass. And Glitz has got 8 now.
13 Phantom back out for the Renegades. Nice star pass. Very clean to Stormcloud.
Stormcloud gets it on. Can't do anything with it off.
All right, we are perhaps in our final jam. Could maybe get 2 more here before our half. We have Glitter Hitter and L. Glitter Hitter in white for the Renegades. L in blue for the Agoges. All right, we're going and trying to find some offensive help from Rainbow Rider is L. But Glitter Hitter pushes and shoves their way through it for a lead. And Glitter Hitter coming around now for their scoring pass. Meanwhile, they have Night Terror with some assistance from number 84. That is a Puppet Master holding back the Goge Jammer.
Now we get L getting cycled back a little bit. Ooh, 17 put it out there and did a booty swoop and catch. L came in there hard, runs into him.
Glitter Hitter really taking their time, assessing, and then making their move into the wall there, into the pack, and definitely have made some good work of it. Maybe not the jukiest jammer you'll see out there, but they can definitely push their way through a pack.
All right, with 15 seconds left in the half, we got a timeout white they want to preserve for one more jam.
Looks like the jammers want to talk some things out with their blockers before we get started here.
This is a team timeout, so it'll be time. Officials, if they call timeout, they get to take as long as they need to.
All right, rolling whistle. This is our more than likely final jam of the half here.
Oh, I don't think you can get 2 off in 15 seconds. Maybe. Maybe.
You just wanted to get lead and call it off for some reason.
Yep, and here we go. Sassy up against Nightshade. Sassy pushing forward.
Oh, looks like we have a toe stop loose on the floor there.
It went rolling off, and roll on, getting it off the track. Safety first. Let's see who it is. Sassy skating around, has both their toe stops on. Oh, we have parts all over up there. Looks like a skate might have come apart, or a toe stop with a nut and a washer. So Sassy coming around's got 4. Now Nightshade is loose. Nightshade starting to come around.
Nice move to the inside. Sassy opts to just keep running it, build up that lead.
We're into bonus time. That toe stop belongs to L.
All right, now Nightshade, quick burst of speed to try to get through. Now it is jammer on jammer. And coming up for the assist is Sparkle. That frees up Sassy for another scoring run. Nice strategy by the Renegades there.
And there we go. We ran into bonus time, and Sassy calling it off.
All right, at the half, looks like it's 160 the Wheat Whackers to the Agoges 43. Get our rolling whistle, and that is intermission.
So get up, move around. Remember, the bathrooms inside are for the skaters for at least the first few minutes of the half. So if they have to skate off, if they have wheels on their feet, they will be allowed to use the facilities. And we'll be back in about 14 minutes. All right, all right, all right. We still have all right, all right, all right. We still have high energy on the benches, folks. I am personally exhausted. I don't know about Mercy up here, but I am just pooped.
Yeah, it feels a lot later than it actually is.
I was surprised to walk outside and see the sun, or not the the sun had not set yet.
Right.
So here we go. We got the second half of Derby action. We're picking up right where we left off. Is Glitz number 18 is going head to head with number 58. That is Firecracker.
All right, and we begin our last half of our last game for today. Glitz with a quick establishing lead. Firecracker looking around. Night Terror hits them out. Firecracker quickly gets back in, though, to try to get through the pack, and does. Nice moves by Firecracker.
Oh, I thought Glitz was turning around to block Firecracker. It did seem like that. But Glitz decided to take the path of least resistance and just call it off.
Right.
I think some of the Wasatch players would have chose violence and tried to hit the other skater out.
Now, remember, Wasatch has to go up against both the Renegades and the Wheat Whackers tomorrow. You know, they've had great showings here today.
And here we go. Sassy up against Dart. And Sassy is out first.
All right, Firecracker pushes out Dart. Working in tandem to keep them back as they allow their Sassy to score some points here. Looking for some points to get put up on the board after a scoring pass. And we do have a successful star pass. That is Stormcloud, who keeps inside. Stormcloud having a good game. Helping out the Agoges here.
Yeah, that was a nice spin move on Stormcloud there. Bob, official timeout. Look at the scorekeepers. Once again, the scorekeepers and inside jam refs are getting the scores together, making sure they got all the points. Kids put too much energy, too much time, blood, sweat, tears into this not to get every point counted. All right, we're all good. That signals the end of the official timeout, and here we go. Looks like Glitter Hitter coming out against number Rainbow Rider. Rainbow Rider trying to go to the outside, Glitter Hitter hitting.
Nice moves by Rainbow Rider to establish lead. They had the outside closed off to them, but moves saw that inside lane was open and took it.
Boy, that wasn't open for long. That opened up quick. Rainbow Rider saw it, scored it right through there.
Blitz back out. Going against number 13, Nightshade. Okay, and we are ready to go here. There is the whistle. Blitz lining up on the outside, trying to shove and push their way through. One more blocker to beat. Looks like that is out of play, so they get lead position. Time that is Nightshade still hung up at turn number 1, looking to find a way around the Wheat Whacker line. Let's send for their first scoring pass, pushing some of the blockers down in front of them. Now both jammers hung up momentarily, but it is Glitz that is through for 4. Nightshade with some nice moves, looking around, and yes, we do have a successful star pass, so now it is Firecracker who gets through, puts that star on their head and comes around just as Glitz scores 4 more points, and will decide to call this one off. I will have Shilby Sassy going up against Stormcloud. Sassy in white, Stormcloud in blue. Wheat Whackers opting to start up at the jam line. See if the Agoges up at the pivot line decide if they'll move back or not. Looks like they are
Sliding into
back.
position, yep. And here we go. The whistle blows and they go inside and out. Sassy pushing forward.
Yeah, built up some speed to slam into that wall and let their momentum carry them through that lead. Now Storm looking for some offense to make it their way through. Sassy coming around. Night Terror knocking them out, and Stormcloud fails to enter behind Night Terror, so now this will be a power jam.
That's a veteran move right there for Night Terror. They line up, let you think they're in one spot, and as you start coming in, they slide back a little further.
Right. Wheat Whackers looking to do a little bit of a sweep, then fall back to help spread out that pack and let Sassy push their way through. Sassy slow assessing the situation, coming in. Just as Stormcloud comes right back in from the box. Nice hit by Phantom to push out Stormcloud. And now Sassy now getting recycled. Firecracker.
Oh, Sassy going to the box.
All right, so now Agoges can help out their jammer. Hits the ground, but right back up is Stormcloud.
And I think Sassy got 2 for not exiting fast enough.
This can be a big help here for the Agoges. Lined up in a 4-wall is the Agoges. Now they come in. Nice. Stormcloud really good and patient, waiting for their offense to open up some opportunities for them, and then takes them. Didn't waste any energy trying to push against the wall. Just let her offense do the work and slid right through for 4.
We got Glitter Hitter out there for the Wheat Whackers, going head to head with L.
All right, we have the whistle. L getting some one-on-one opposition from Jawbreaker. Now some offense by Dart to help out L. But not before Glitter Hitter can get lead jam.
And Glitter Hitter just moved the pack forward until it broke apart and then slid through the openings.
A very strong, pushy jammer is Glitter Hitter. And now Rainbow Rider looking to stop, but no.
No, Glitter Hitter
is
shakes it
through.
off.
L trying to work their way through. Getting some offensive help from Rainbow Rider. Now Glitter Hitter coming around. The Agoges aren't set up for it, so Glitter Hitter slides on through. L still working. Nice move by L to not go out. But no, stopped hard by Sparkle. Yeah. Al getting pushed out towards the outside, managed to stay in, but only to meet Sparkle right at the inside there to shove them out. As Glitter Hitter keeps on running. Got 12 on the board for Glitter Hitter so far.
Now we will be back here at 8:30 start, and we will have games all the way up until 5 o'clock starts.
Agoges working together to slow down Glitter, and nice, a Storm Cloud shoving out Glitter Hitter. Nice. That'll recycle them back. Looks like there's a successful star pass, and now that is Rainbow Rider, who is the jammer. Glitter Hitters still pushing and shoving their way forward for points. 16 on there. That'll end with a 16-0 run, it appears, by Glitter Hitter.
Rainbow Rider skating off, holding her jaw. I think they felt they got hit in the jaw there. Oh, and now we got Agoges out there asking for an official review. We'll see what that's all about.
It was about that specifically. There could be a high block call, but we'll see what they decide to make the review about.
Yep, we'll see. So, folks, we will be back here at 8:30 tomorrow morning. These very Agoges will be going head-to-head with the Cherry Bomb Brawlers. That'll be 8:30. Your Wasatch Assault will be going at 10:30 against the Renegade Outlaws. 1 o'clock, the Bombers will be back against the Wheat Whackers. 3 o'clock, the Agoges up against the Outlaws, and Wasatch Assault to finish off against the Wheat Whackers at 5 o'clock. Another full day of roller derby action. All right. The Agoges have stated their case. Still, after 2 bouts, the energy to do spins and circles and jumps. 20 minutes left in this game.
The Go-Gates do have one in the penalty box. 2 blockers out there. I believe their captain right now is involved in the official review as the pivot.
All right, we'll let it report to the teams what's going on. All right, it looks like Guinness has delivered the news. The Agoges did not get their official review 1, so they will lose their official review for the remainder of this half. Did not get the details on what was called or asked for, but we know it was not, nothing was added or overturned. So here we go. You got Firecracker up against Glitz. Glitz immediately burrows through the outside and starts digging hard.
Firecracker sees it, but Night Terror is right there to close off that avenue. Oh, and I believe there will be a.
All right, they get up and they skate off on their own power rather quickly. It looked like just a big fall right there in front of the medic's box, which immediately gets the attention of the medical staff.
At the very end there, looks like there was a cut track call assessed against the Agoge Jammer, so they will start in the penalty box, be a power start in favor.
I do see Firecracker over there.
I believe Night Terror, knocked them out, and they did not enter in behind Night Terror, so that'll cause a track cut call.
And it looks like the Wheat Whackers are coming out in a flat wall. They're going to go forward and probably try to contain the Agoges. Getting some last minute instruction from their coach. In Derby, point spreads matter, so you keep going till the final whistle. All right, here we go. We're coming out of the timeout now. Sassy out there.
Looking to build up speed and now looking to follow their offense. Nice, strong offensive hits to open up the lane.
There we go. And you know, nobody would have been called for a or Sassy would never have been called for any kind of penalty if there was any to be handed out.
No.
But that whole wall made clean hits, opened up a huge hole, and Sassy went right through it.
Using Sparkle as a shield is Sassy to get through for their first 4 points.
Well, a good thing they did because Nightshade had ill intent coming across the board there. They meant violence.
Now Firecracker is back in off the from the penalty box.
Rested, angry they got sent to the box.
All right. That is 4 more points for Sassy before deciding to call that one off for an 8-point jam. Rainbow Rider comes out for the Agoges, going up against Glitter Hitter.
I think everybody's getting a little tired. I'm even seeing the referees with a little bit of yawning going on. This has been a long day. Tomorrow's a long day, too.
Rainbow Rider opting to do some lateral skating across the track. A Glitter Hitter plows forward, trying to just push the line forward for lead, and that is successful for Glitter Hitter as they get lead. Rainbow Rider trying to swing by the Wheat Whacker line, but they're very quick. Their defenders very quick to regroup and get through. Now Glitter coming in for another scoring run. Goes to the outside. Doesn't. Looks like they called it off. I don't know if they'll get all 4 on that.
I wouldn't think so. We'll see. I didn't see any points being held up.
It looks like they were hit and were going out as they called that one off, so I don't believe their hips passed the opposing players. And we will have an official timeout.
I was going to say, I don't see the second jam ref out there, so Dop is over there talking things over with Princess and Guinness.
That happened right on that outside, so the jam ref wouldn't have had really good eyes on that, so looking for perhaps some of the OPRs to help out with that decision.
It looks like a cut track penalty for Glitter Hitter at the very end there. Their back foot did drag out of bounds, as they were calling. I wasn't sure how that's called.
What I believe happened is they called it off, but they skated back in as they were calling it off. So they began that call off on the outside, Had they stayed outside, it would have just been called, but because they skated back on the track while calling off, that is where that track,
and
cut call happens.
And they gave glitter hitter 0 on that one. So power start for the Agoges. That's what they needed here. They're going to send out number 13. That is Nightshade. Nightshade gets in there. Wheat Whackers form in the middle.
Nice open lane, but no, stopped hard by Sparkle.
And cycled way back. They had most of the Wheat Whackers contained, but the Wheat Whackers had a satellite out there that picked them up.
Now opting for the inside, but nudged out. Yeah, looks like you have Bubble Basher, Night Terror, and Sparkle out there. Those three have caused a lot of trouble, as well as Firecracker. So tough wall to face.
And now in and immediately making contact with the pack, but then gets hit out is Glitter Hitter. I do not think Nightshade has established lead yet.
No, the lead is still open. Making their way forward is Glitter Hitter.
Oh, and Glitter Hitter's going to get lead after starting in the box. That's good defense out there is what that is.
Yeah.
That's holding back the other jammer long enough for your jammer to get free. Now we got a star pass handing off to number 58. That's Firecracker. Firecracker gets cycled back.
And you got to face a wall of names that we've been calling all night for great hits and stops. That is a tough job for any jammer. Firecracker brought back.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to pull out the most valuable blocker because I've got 4 or 5 per game on each team.
Oh, yeah. Glitter Hitter coming around. Nice conservation of energy because they put a lot. As soon as they hit that pack, they'll start pushing. So gets through. Believe finishes with 3 on that.
They saw Rainbow Rider lining up for a big hit, and they said, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Rainbow Rider has not shied away from a hit yet. Really, I think that should be like a name of a motorcycle, an Easy Rider, one of those movies.
Oh, and there's a Agoge timeout as we are almost at the halfway point of the second half here.
Good time to slow things down, reassess, make sure everything's ready, give everybody a breather. Of course, I say that, and there'll usually be half the kids dancing.
They don't want to get close. Substitutions. Right, Glitz, number 18 in white, going up against number 72, Dart in blue. 4-on-4 on the track. Box clear, and we are ready to go. The last 15 minutes of this game.
And Glitz moves to the outside. Dart moves up the middle, but runs into number 88 there.
With a Bubble Basher as pivot.
They don't move very good. They're holding up the wall, and that's keeping Dart from moving forward.
And a nice strong shove by Night Terror to push out Dart at turn number 1. Meanwhile, Glitz being contained by the Agoge wall. They've really come together for a little bit, but are not able to contain them for long. The lead has given to Glitz.
And Dart comes about a half track behind.
Nice open lane taken by Glitz. Grabs that 4. Firecracker almost right there to stop it. Glitz able to go on 1 foot, skate backwards, and stay inside. Then we have Rainbow Rider, number 12, for the Agoges, going up against 33 Jawbreaker.
Haven't called Jawbreaker too much for jamming. We'll see how they do. They're going to hug the inside line. Nice little spin move. And they get through cleanly. Dopp says their lead.
Yeah, Wheat Whacker's doing a really good job of reforming, but Rainbow Rider still finds a way through. With a lot of speed is Jawbreaker, though, to get through for 4.
Jawbreaker has their eye right on the other jammer. They know what they're doing, and they're going to call it off right as the other jammer makes contact. Little before, just to be safe.
She'll be sassy, comes out against Firecracker. Wheat Whackers are lined up right at the jam line. Like Rainbow Rider looks to do some disruption inside their tripod.
Yep, they are set right up inside there, and it looks like Firecracker wanted to follow.
Gogi's not able to close open that line, but I don't think Sassy knows who's Firecracker's right behind them.
Oh, I think Sassy felt them breathing, and they were calling it as they hopped. We'll see if they got points. They did. They got points, though.
Yeah, 1 point for the Gogies on that one. Looks like 3, or did they get all 4? Yep, all 4.
4-1 on that. So here we go. Glitz coming out. Glitz is going to go head-to-head with Storm Cloud. They're still bouncing around and hopping around. I can barely feel my feet. They take off. Glitz pushes the pack forward. Storm Cloud surrounds the white wall, tries to move it forward. Glitz is loose.
Glitz comes around for that scoring pass. A lot of speed. Hits, stays in for 4. And it looks like the Storm Cloud as the jammer going to the penalty box. We do have a power jam.
Oh, nice move.
Quick move to the outside,
with a forearm.
So that will free Storm Cloud from the penalty box.
I would have thought almost a cut track penalty the way they slid along there. And then they said, no, that was clean. And it was a forearm in there.
So lead is lost. Glitz, however, will not have to do the full 30. They will only have to spend as much time as Storm Cloud did in the box.
So Glitz is out already. Blue having a tough time getting formed up. Glitz comes in. Glitz goes out. Glitz has got 4 more. No, that's her first. That is her second 4. Okay.
All right, 40 seconds left in this jam. Doing the full 40. We got no lead. So now Storm Cloud looking to pass that off and does nice. Good pass to Dart. But Dart is taken out by Jawbreaker and recycled back. Glitz makes another scoring run. There's 4 more on the board for Glitz. The Wheat Whacker's doing a really good job of water falling back and really spreading out that distance that Dart will have to go back in order to come back onto the track. That is a 28-0 run. Glitz often putting up numbers like that once they get out there. Very tough jammer to stop.
I hope they have a hot tub back at the hotel.
So you have a official review.
Is it? I don't see anybody walking out. Oh, we see Blue walking out, maybe. Official timeout. That's what we got. We're at an official timeout.
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
No official review time.
There are worth things we can say up here.
10 minutes left in this game. Got a whole lot more of this tomorrow to go.
Exactly the same number of games tomorrow as we had today. We'll be having a 5 o'clock start, but we also have an 8:30 start. These Agoges will be back here first thing in the morning. They'll get a good night's sleep. We'll be out of here before 8 o'clock. 10 minutes left. I'm sure. Famous last words. I'm not sure what we're exactly doing. We are in official timeout. I see them all looking at. Well, it's a penalty time. A penalty box manager that's looking at the score sheet, which usually indicates somebody might be at too many penalties. But again, better to take our time and get the call right rather than rush through it and get the call wrong.
Yeah, certainly, definitely been some penalties out there, but definitely not a high volume this game, it seems, as compared to others.
It doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like it's a high volume penalty game. So we'll see. We have Guinness and Data over there explaining something to the FoCo bench. Might be just exchanging meatloaf recipes. I don't know. Hopefully they're talking about Derby. Okay, so we see a jammer going to the box. A power start. Oh, and another one going to the box. So they've got two in the box, a jammer plus a blocker.
Okay, so
And that's going to leave the Wheat Whackers. Look, no, the Wheat Whackers have one in the box, but they have their jammer. Can't play Derby without a jammer.
okay, so it looks like a power start.
Can't play football without the football. Can't play baseball without the baseball. So effectively, the jammer is the ball.
I suppose, yeah.
They're the
They've-
point scorer.
They've got to cross the thing that gets you the point.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they are the ball.
All right, I decided to switch off on Jammer, so now this is going to be she'll be sassy on this power start.
Wheat Whackers all lined up to the inside. Looks like they're going to try to seal off a wall, but she's so sassy, takes off and breaks loose. Gets one more to beat and slides around. Now lead jammer. Oh, we have already whistles. Oh, more Agoges and Wheat Whackers heading to the box.
Didn't see any contact on that, so I don't know.
We're
what the,
clearing track
penalty
though.
was.
I didn't see it. I don't know what happened. But something happened because two people went to the box.
Well, now some people are coming out of the box, so we're getting some players around there. Meanwhile, she'll be sassy, making it look easy, going around scoring points.
And Dart is releasing the box, and Dart makes contact.
That is Bubble Basher bringing back Dart, working in concert with Sparkle and Night Terror.
All right, box is empty. Now both teams are whole. They're forming up, figuring out we're going to put park on turn 3, and this is where we're going to take our fight. Sassy coming in backwards, calling it off as they were coming in. They did a perfect job. They got 4, other player didn't get any.
All right, so now Glitter Hitter will be the jammer for the Wheat Whackers, going up against Firecracker for the Agoges.
Nice mutual respect high five. I always like to see that at the start of a jam.
Yeah, see a couple of these Wheat Whacker blockers out here for multiple jams at a time, though. So, you know, you have one or two blockers that were hard to get through in the last jam. You have to try to get through them again in the next jam.
Yeah, the Wheat Whackers do have a short rotation. They have a bigger bench, but they do a short rotation on there. So here we go.
All right, lead goes to Firecracker.
Firecracker comes through and calls it off right when they break through. We'll see how many they get. Oh, they're going to get all 4.
Yeah, I didn't see them. Looked like they got stopped there at the end, but they must have collected that point earlier. You know, Storm Cloud out there for the Agoges going up against Blitz. Blitz always capable of putting up some high double-digit numbers. And swings to the outside, is put by Dart, slows back in, and sticks to that outside line to get through for a lead.
Dart with an excellent job pushing them out, though. Oh, jammer on jammer crime.
That is...
Stormcloud takes a big hit. Collapses, is back up like a collapsible cup. Now Stormcloud is loose, but Glitz is around for 4, looking at more. We'll see what Glitz wants to do here. And they're calling it as they come through there backwards. 7 minutes left in this game.
For the first time, I believe, this game, we see Bubble Basher, number 88 in white. For Weed Whackers taking the Jam Star. They'll be going up against L.
Bubble Basher sounds like a breaker of dreams.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The whistle goes. L versus Bubble Basher. Oh, and very clearly, 8-8 is a back block. Bubble Basher heads to the sin bin for 30 seconds of silent reflection. Given the Agoges time to score.
They played the pivot out there for the Weed Whackers, slowing some momentum. But they are through for a lead.
Yep, looking around, you do have a lead, L. You got it.
That is Sassy with the pivot stripe out there for the Weed Whackers. So kind of switching hats are Bubble Basher and Sassy. Good shoves, gets Bubble Basher through. Lead still in L's hands as lead gets recycled back and calls that off. Able to put up 3 on the board, though.
All right, good show of sportsmanship there as they high five each other. That is going to be Nightshade going head to head with Glitter Hitter. Nope, timeout blue.
Team timeout. So yeah, we're at that 5-minute mark. So yeah, this is a good time. This will be their final team timeout. They also don't have an official review, so this is their last one that they can use. If you want to just take one full minute to relax and talk about your strategy and finish up this last 5 minutes. So the point spread matters, so you definitely want to keep your team in it, no matter what the board says.
Yeah, that's one of those unusual things about Derby is point spreads matter. So sadly, sometimes you have to run a score up as high as you can.
All right, we are in the final leg of this game.
Here we go. Glitter hitter up against Nightshade.
Go
Whistle
Gates.
blows and they take a pause, but then they go.
Agoges opt to work in pairs of 2, and seems to be effective a little bit on glitter hitters. They stop them at turn 1. Well, that is Nightshade trying to shove their way through a very, very tough Wheat Whacker wall. And glitter hitter is through for a lead.
I've always thought the teams of 2 would be the best blocking advantage. 1 forward, 1 backwards. I've never played Derby. I have no idea. That's just a thought.
Well, you have those strong jammers, though. Sometimes you want everyone together to try to use that strength to contain them. Definitely different strategies for different jammers. See what you can do.
Sure.
All right, and there is Nightshade trying to make something happen, and there, nice pass to Firecracker. Great handoff. That is Firecracker now with the star.
Well, and glitter hitters put the brakes on. They're going to call it, and there they go.
That the Wheat Whackers hit the 300 mark. Agoges at 56.
All right, it is Storm Cloud up against Glitz.
Yeah, Glitz opting to play some defense to capture Storm Cloud in that Wheat Whacker tripod, while they advance forward to try to push through and get that lead position for themselves. One more blocker to beat, and does, and they have it. Nice move to the inside of Storm Cloud and gets through the pack. Meanwhile, using Bubble Basher as a shield is Glitz. Gets 4 points and calls that off. We're getting close to our, be at our about final 2 minutes once this next jam gets started here. So 1 or 2 jams left to go. Be dependent on if Sassy decides to get lead and just run the clock down to the last final seconds.
Yeah, bare minimum, we should get 2 more jams. We'll see. Maybe not.
And it's Rainbow Rider, number 12 in blue, for the Agoges.
Only 8 seconds separate game clock and jam clock, so we'll see what they want to do with it. Sassy and Ryder are still jockeying for position. Ryder has a little bit of an advantage now. Sassy pushing from behind, trying to get forward. Ryder is out first.
Nice moves.
Ryder is out
around,
first.
Keeps their feet, gets that lead position, but there is Sassy right behind. So there will be at least 1 more jam here. Nice move by Ryder to get that lead position.
That was hard fought. They were jockeying for position. They pushed it all the way around turn 2, and then Ryder was able to squirt through there first.
All right, Agoges send out Firecracker as their jammer. Blitz is back out there for the Wheat Whackers. Whackers putting out a strong wall. That Firecracker manages to stay inside with a burst of speed, goes to the out and is caught by Sparkle. Sparkle goes down though. So Firecracker can enter right back in. Takes a little bit of time to recover to get back into it. But Glitz firmly has lead and scores their first 4 points. And that clock is in their favor. 35 seconds left in the period, and Glitz controls it. Very likely will choose to just wind it down.
They do. The Wheat Whackers do have a timeout if they want to call it and have another jam. I don't think they need to.
Yeah.
There we go. Glitz is digging hard. I don't think they're going to do it. They're going to just keep running this thing out.
Yeah, 10 seconds left, and Glitz has definitely shown the stamina to just keep running a jam. So there we go. 4 more points as we're down. The play clock is done as the jam clock keeps going.
Now we're in bonus time. Glitz with a big smile ear to ear.
Firecracker looking for a way through. Tough, tall line of blockers. Weed whackers.
Well, we're going to end on a penalty there.
Night Terror sent to the box right at the end there.
I don't think that matters.
No.
We'll wait to see the rolling whistle, make sure everything's over.
Unofficial score is 322 Wheat Whackers against 456 of the Agoges. And there it is. That is the official whistle. We have our final score. And that is the last game of our first day of the Bonneville Beatdown of 2025.
Now, we do have a full day planned for tomorrow, so if you're around, come on down, see these kids again. And other than that, we will wind up and send these guys around. All right, looks like the Weed Whackers are waiting for the Agoges to get up, and they are.
As they go around, they think they're trying to decide who goes first.
All right, it is the Wheat Whackers. Your team in white tonight. Glitter Hitter, Poison Ivy, Phantom, Ultraviolet, Glitz, Night Terror, Sparkill, Sugar Rush, Jawbreaker, Punky Bruiser, She'll Be Sassy, Puppet Master, and Bubble Basher. Your Wheat Whackers.
And your FoCo Agoges in blue is Rainbow Rider, Nightshade Hedgie, Stormcloud, L, Spider, Xavier Bad Behavior, Firecracker, and Dart.
I am Salty Bear, and we will be signing off, but we will be back here tomorrow, 8:30. Merciful, I believe you're back here with me.
I am. I am going to be calling all the games tomorrow as well. So
Excellent. We'll go home, get our naps in, gargle, and we'll see you guys back here at 8:30. And remember, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.